Welcome to Medrash Rabbah on the Torah. We are holding by Parshas Tavo, and we are going to be discussing a Medrash at the end, which has to do with towards the end of the Parsha, which discusses Hashem's, that Moshe Rabbeinu tells the Jewish people that if you listen, so and so is going to happen upon you. So the Medrash brings, in connection to this, a pasuk in Shlomo Melech's book of Mishlei, which is interconnected to this theme of listening to God and what exactly that means, and what's expected of that, and how the outcomes will be corresponding to that. So there's a pasuk that Shlomo Melech says like this. It says, Ashrei Adam Sheimei Ali, fortunate man, Sheimei Ali, hears me. So there's something that it seems that the Medrash is bothered by. The wording is strange. Seemingly the grammatic, if you're trying to say fortunate is the man who listens to me, you would say Ashrei Adam, fortunate man, HaSheimei Ali, who listens to me. What does that mean? Fortunate man, listen me. What does that mean? So says the Medrash actually that this could be referring to a different understanding, a different meaning to the pasuk. The pasuk is saying is that fortunate is the man who the things that are heard about him are for me. Okay, that's what it means. Sheimei Ali, that what is heard is for me. So in other words, according to this understanding of the Medrash, is Shlomo Melech is praising somebody that people, that the word on the street is that this guy is doing stuff for God. That is considered a man who is fortunate, according to Shlomo Melech. That is the first part of that verse of the pasuk. Next part of the verse says, Lishgaid al dal soisai. Lishgaid means to be consistent. Al dal soisai means on my doors. So now we're continuing again to praise a person. The first praise about a person that Shlomo Melech is praising, saying this person is fortunate, is the type of guy who, word on the street is he does things for God. He's the godly man, so to speak. Second thing that he's fortunate, a person is considered fortunate, according to King Shlomo, is that he does something called Lishkad al Daisai. He is consistent on my doors. What does that mean? So the Medrash Rabbah gives a few explanations. One of them is that if he goes to pray in the shul, he doesn't stand by the door, by the outer entrance. Rather, he makes sure to go into the second entrance, a door inside of a door. That's what it means. Shekad al dal soisai means that he is consistent to go into the second door, meaning the further into the synagogue, further into shul, the better. And the Medrash says that the reason why that's important is because God likes your footsteps. He enjoys your footsteps when you do it for Him. So therefore, when you go closer into the synagogue, God wants those extra footsteps because it is for Him. Continues the Medrash, and that the pasuk says further. The verse says further, Lishmer mezuzos pesachai, that he is guarding the mezuzos, the doorposts of my entranceways. That's another another quality of someone who is fortunate, according to King Shlomo. What is this quality? So Rabbi Yehuda, the son of Sima, says, he asks a question. First of all, what does that mean that the mezuzos, mezuzahs can mean either the doorposts or the mitzvah mezuzah, which we put on our doorways. So he asks a question. If for some reason he's assuming it's referring to the mitzvah, because that is a praiseworthy thing, you're doing the mitzvah that God tells you. So he asks, what does that mean? You are protecting the mezuzahs of my entranceways. My entranceways, in other words, the God's synagogues or his place of study. He asks a question. Seemingly, the place of study does not get mezuzahs. There's no mitzvah mezuzah, right? Because the mitzvah mezuzah is only an our personal space, not God's space. So therefore, he says like this. He said what Shlomo Melech is doing in this verse is he's comparing the mezuzah to what this person is doing, or rather, what this person is doing to the mezuzah, which is that just like a mezuzah does not leave the doorpost, it's always there. The mitzvah is to keep it there. He says so too. We are talking about a person who is consistent about coming to the synagogue or coming to the place of study. In other words, he is always there. He's making sure to be there whenever he can. That is another person that Shlomo King Solomon considers praiseworthy, fortunate. And then continues the verse over there, Ki moitzi motzo chaim. One who finds me finds life. In other words, if a person keeps to all this, God says, you are receiving the face of the Shekhinah, moitzi, you are finding me, you are finding life. Like God is saying, anybody who comes to the synagogue will find my face, will find my honor over there. So that is just an interesting explanation of the verse of Shlomo Melech connected to our parsha, describing an interesting thing of what Shlomo Melech considers fortunate. A man is considered fortunate and praiseworthy, and these are all qualities that he finds amazing.